Hello guys, welcome to another deck profile. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's been over a year and a half.
Yeah, it's been quite a while.
Yeah. We've got your boy Calamy top with his Gouki deck.
Yeah,
in our local regionals right here, down in Leicestershire, and he got what? Second place. Wonderful. That's incredible for the Gouki deck. So I didn't know if they can still top nowadays. And how did that go? Like the tournament stuff?
Yeah, it went well. It went quite well because the surprise factor really got me there. I've been on the deck for about a year now. Been playing online a lot, and obviously that really got me there. I've improved a lot drastically.
Are you talking about online, as in like the remote duel stuff?
Just DB, yeah, dueling book.
Or dueling? Okay, just practicing stuff.
Yeah. But overall, you know, the format's really good. There's a few like bits of degeneracy, but overall it's really good. Yeah.
All right, okay. Let's get started. Let's have a look.
So this was the card that got me the game loss.
The Japanese Goki.
Suprex,
Suprex, yeah.
Who knows what would happen if I didn't get the game loss, but it is what it is. I still went 6-1, so it is what it is, yeah.
So obviously this is not in the main deck. That's
yeah, well, I was using it as a token.
As a token, okay.
Yeah, so that's that. So going on to the main deck.
Yep.
I basically play 3 Suprex, which is standard, right? This card's really good because it basically pushes through Ash, other kind of interruption like destruction removal, and the fact that it basically makes your opponent go -1 like every time is just so crazy. And obviously the 1800 attack boost, the 1800 attack, is really relevant because it can beat over just like so many issues as well. But yeah, they should print this as a super rare, to be honest. The next Goki I play is 3 Headbat, so I'll put this here. This card basically is an extender, and it pushes through interruptions again. So the funny thing about this card is it doesn't actually have to target. It doesn't have to gain what's it called, make the monster gain attack all targets. So if your opponent, let's say Dogmatica Punishment's the target that used off this, you can still summon it. And then they're like, oh, you can't do that, I'm like, you can, it resolves as much as possible, right? Also, I'll bring it up later, the 800 attack gain is quite relevant, especially with the Scorpio.
Yeah.
Because if your opponent has Dragoon on the field, and they don't negate the headbat, and have Scorpio, then basically I can beat over their Dragoon with Scorpio. So it's quite relevant there. So they're the 3 of Goki.
So a lot of specific counters for the current meta stuff, you know.
Yeah, it comes up like everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So the MVP of the tournament really is just Cobra. This card's really good because it can dodge things like targeting effects. So let's say, right, I attacked over Nib with that and Rex. Made the Rex gain 1600 attack in damage step, so they can't like negate niche effects and stuff like that, right? And then basically, yeah, I mean it can just be over like really big problems. You see, actually it comes up against Shadow a lot. So let's say they have Punishment and Wind on field, right? From there, I can basically go normal summon Rex, effect summon this, and then change Schism. And then basically have a punishment, and I'm like, okay, and then I summon both, and then from there I basically go over the window and
It's be over it, yeah?
Yeah, basically, and in damage step,
Really big, yeah.
yeah, make it 34.
Yeah.
And the don't punishment because it just dodges anyway, and it resolves without effect. So Twist is very good.
2 Twist Cobras, yeah?
Yeah, 2 of them, right. So the one of Goki's in the main deck, I play. So this card I wasn't playing for the longest time, but about a month ago I was, because it comes up with the 2 equips, which I'll show why it comes up with later. So Iron Claw. The fact that I can send 2 equips off his hold is very relevant because I play a card called Immortal Phoenix Gearfried. And if I get that card and I have 2 equips in graveyard, including Blade, then I can make Gearfried live, which is a monster negate for the following turn. His attack boost comes up as well with a brick. Let's say I have a Twist Cobra, and these are 2 Gokis I have in hand and nothing else. I can basically attack into a lower attack monster, and then go damage step Iron Claw, crash the Twist Cobra, use the Twist Cobra in damage steps, they can't ash it, and then add a rematch, and then reborn these 2 back. And it goes inside.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's them ones. And then the level 1 guys, Goku Guts and Octo. So Goku Guts has a on-field effect, which is if it's in defense position, like that, let's say, and they attack over it, they can't be sure about battle. So that comes up quite often actually. And then this card helps in damage step. You see, one of the rounds against Numeron, he basically had OTK and ended on Avramax. Basically, Numeron can't out Avramax unless they have droplets or something like that. They made it with IP, so they couldn't like me stop. They thought they had game, and basically what I decided to do was go auto stretch affecting damage step. And I was left on 250 life points with their final attack, right? And Avramax shuffled the the Numeron monster that was left to attack. So that really came in clutch there. So yeah, these two are really good cards. And then basically going on to the next card that basically gives you the reason to play this deck, Rematch. Of course, yeah, this card's insane to be honest because basically like it's so hard to stop. And if I get access to this, especially on turn 3 and I've survived, it's very hard to win for my opponent.
It's like a mini soul charge.
Yeah, pretty much. And then basically if I just end on this with in hand, I can just, let's say, Reborn, Guts and Claw. I then go into Isolde, and then basically Isolde gets to Reynold, which I'll explain later, and then Reynold gets to Durendal, which then pushes through for a Link 4.
Alright.
And then also get Rex plus another Goki body. So obviously it gets me a lot of advantage there.
Alright.
Ghost Bell can stop it, but I can use the second one. And that comes up online actually. Didn't come up in the tournament. And then if your opponent targets one of the targets and tries to get move it, the other one still summons because it resolves as much as possible. So the next cards are so it's Connector, and then obviously the Dolphin, which I'll bring up in a minute. So basically this card, if this card resolves and I have another warrior, I can loot 2 cards out of the hand really if they have 2 monsters less than or equal to the attack, right? Because they can reborn, and Dolphins are once per turn soft, not hard once per turn. You can tell the difference usually because it says use this effect rather than once per turn. So yeah, this card's crazy, and whenever I resolve it, it's usually game because I can just get to see their hands, know what to stop really.
Yeah.
And then going on to the Fire Warrior stuff, I play 3 Durendal. This card basically helps push through again. Just the fact that it can search off Reynold or something like Red Layer, and then obviously Red Layer, which I'll bring up now. This card basically loops itself. So if I have a Reynold if I have a Red Layer in graveyard and I special summon another one on field, I can then basically bring it back and I can keep looping and looping that grind. So yeah, this is really good. And technically this is a going second combo, so.
Yeah. Spec it from hand, Cyber Dragon and
exactly, yeah. And the fact that it can just beat over a lot.
Yeah.
And then 5 Flint Lady. This card's again really good as well because people don't know the effects that, you know, it can basically tribute itself and then I can special summon a warrior from hand. You see, that's kind of crazy if I open Dolphin in hand as well because I can't Veiler that either. So yeah, going from that, we then have the 1 Reynold and the 1 Gearfried. So this right here is quite insane. So if I have Gearfried in hand, it's basically Isolde effects without being interrupted basically because it can negate the hand trap. Reynold basically can basically help grind out your opponent and push through even more than obviously if you can with, and it can help you push through more than if you just summon a Goki on the following turn off Isolde. So yeah, this package is quite insane actually. I say it's a Fire Warrior package.
the little Fire Warrior.
Yeah, it just helps push through. It's just insane really. And then the 2 one-off spells here, in terms of extenders.
Yeah, limited stuff.
Yeah, so I don't play Monster Reborn or Living Fossil because that requires graveyard setup, and basically that's like reliant on other cards to resolve. Whereas these cards you don't need to rely on anything else resolving. And you obviously play 45 cards.
You're using turn 1 basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Turn 2.
Obviously, I know Monster Reborn can be very powerful in terms of like Reborn in Dragoon, but it's situational, so it's best just to play these ones. And then moving on to the Dragoon engine. So Dragoon's stupid because it basically has the protection, right? Without that protection, I feel like it'd be a lot fairer. However, there's a lot more worse things in the format than Dragoon right now, in my opinion. I know you might think that's a bit biased, but it is because Dragoon's not really seen play now that Destiny Hero Finisher Force is out. Yeah, this is so silly, especially when the cost is free when you discard Divine Sword Phoenix Blade.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can play around Super Poly with Verte. So what you do is you go Verte effect, target Appaloosa, make dark, and then you change Dragoon to negate and destroy to play around Super Poly. And also making Rex gain like 300 attack comes up as well.
Yeah,
and it's kind of crazy. And then obviously the one Dolphin we all know about comes up in time as well.
Yep.
And then one off Call By. This card needs to be banned. Basically,
Really?
yeah, because it gives going first player so much more of an advantage than this going second player.
Yeah.
The fact that it can literally be a trap card or an extender essentially is kind of silly. So please Konami ban this card. Obviously stopping against Drytron, is very, very strong. Tri Brigade stopping the Nerval, or if they use the Yellow Canary one, you can basically call by their what's called the target that they try to summon. So yeah, call by is crazy. You just can't take it out. And then statistically, you probably know the DB Grinder. I watch his content a lot, and it's helped me improve as well. So I borrowed a card off Todd. We all know Todd. I borrowed a third implant.
Okay. So 3 implants, yeah?
Yeah, this is very good against Tri Brigade.
Yeah.
Because if you stop there, let's say the first normal, they basically can end the turn unless they're playing the Obelisks.
Yeah.
And then I play the one Veiler. So this is the 10th going second card, and basically you should see like 1 or 2 in hand. So basically your deck doesn't become dice roll. If you lose the dice roll, you lose the game essentially. So Goki lists usually play the Code Breakers. I don't, because again they're reliant on going first really in my opinion, and they don't really do anything in my eyes. They probably do to other people, but obviously I just don't see how they help the deck at all. And obviously other people play PKs as well, which I don't agree with. It just makes the deck a bit brickier, it's just unnecessary. And then I play 3 Ash. You have to play this.
Yes, of course.
Because as long as Red Eyes Fusion's a card, or Fusion Destiny's a card, you just have to play it.
Yeah.
And what I like to do is make this a high impact hand trap. So it's always, if my opponent, I always ash the first thing my opponent does, because it always has the high chance of stopping their turn. Whereas if you ash them and they've got halfway through their combo, then they've got resources in graveyard to basically push on the next turn. Whereas they need to go and set up again the following turn.
Right.
Yeah, so ash is really good. And then obviously I main deck the Nibiru.
Main deck, yeah, okay.
Yeah, you have to main deck this.
Here in a second, of course, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to main deck this against combo because at the end of the day, right, again, if you lose the dice roll, it's kind of like, well, you lose the game.
Yeah.
So it also comes up against my opponent's Nibiru as well, because again, if I have Dolphin on field, I can basically go normal summon Dolphin, get rid of the Nib because I have Nib on my field.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can just beat over weird monsters as well, so it's really good. Right. Against Sword Soul, actually, what's it called? If I brick and only draw 1 Goki, I can basically just have Nib on the field and then summon the Goki and then go into Verte. So that also comes up a lot as well.
Alright, extra deck?
Yeah, so the extra deck is quite weird, right? Most of it's kind of standard, but there's a few cards that aren't. So the first thing is red.
Of course.
So I call this red because REDD, so it's red, right? Yeah, this card's crazy, but it's not ban worthy yet. It will be one day, but not yet. The fact that it's got the burn damage as well helps you push the game just so much easier. And the fact that it punishes your opponent for setting monsters as well, just to protect themselves, is just absolutely crazy. I tend to hold this negate for things like talents and things like power spells. And then basically I have Link Rebo, linking off a Link 1, and then basically adding the rematch. It really comes up. For example, I can basically go normal summon Guts, tribute it off for this, and then basically from there I can obviously just search rematch and off to go from there.
Yeah.
When Dino was meta, actually, it come up against the Lost World. Shout out to Jake. Obviously, he was playing Dino.
In the regional?
No, not in the regional. No, because obviously Miska's at 1 now, right? But obviously when it was meta, obviously it comes up a lot. So I'd always go into Apo, and then before I make Verte, go into Link Rebo with a Link level 1, sorry, and then go into Verte from there to make Lost World decks.
Right, okay.
The next one, well, next two, sorry, is Decode. One for the turn 1 combo, one for the follow-up.
Yep.
It's kind of standard, really. I don't really need to explain it. But Ogre's sort of becoming popular, so it's always important to go into Goki's first and make the Goki's chin 3 and 2, yeah? And then Verte, again, it's important to dodge Super Poly with this, because otherwise you just lose to Shadow that way. IP Masquerena, this card's insane, and I'll put it here actually because it comes up in a minute. Security Dragon, so these are going second link monsters and stuff like that, so great boards. Play Ossa. Funny actually, because I can go into this with 2 Gokis, right? And then I can go to Rematch, crash this, and then search Pankatops.
Oh yeah.
And then basically I can break a board that way. So it's a great card there. The Nightmares, Phoenix, Cerberus, and Unicorn.
Yep, standard nightmare stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that it co-links as well, right? And they have these secret effects where they can't show by card effects by battle, and they draw 3 in the draw phase, quite crazy. So I like that, and IP can tag out into these.
Yep.
Right? And then, so this isn't standard. Rat in the Heavenly General, new card.
Oh.
So basically, this card outgoes a match rivalry because it's Earth Warrior, and in the battle phase, it can target 1 card in the field, destroy it.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so basically, it's quite good there.
That's a good answer to
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it makes like it did. If I have
Did it come up?
Yeah, it did. To be fair.
Nice.
When I didn't want to discard off Unicorn, I just go into Braton and then destroy one of their cards in battle phase, and just basically set up a board main phase 2.
Right.
So this card's really good. So this doesn't tag out. This doesn't tag out to this. Appaloosa. So basically, it depends on what deck my opponent's on. So if they're on combo, Drytron, Virtual World, Tri Brigade, I like to end on this with Dragoon.
Yeah.
Or sometimes what I tend to do is again use IP, and then have 2 Gokis on field, tag out, go into this, and then search on my opponent's turn as well. And then I can also use IP, tag out into one of these 2 here, and then co-link it, draw a card as well. Nice. And then Savyuja. This card helps play around Dark Ruler, because I play 10 going second cards, I can then draw them off Savyuja and play around Dark Ruler. So, and then Akamax, this tag out into this is basically an FTK against control decks, because then it can't be destroyed by card effects or be destroyed by can't be targeted, sorry. And then basically it's once per battle, not battle phase. So that's the extra deck.
Okay.
What I can do is cover my matchups if you wish.
I don't think we have enough time for that, so
no worries.
So if we could do it to your sites.
Okay.
You can talk about like the matchups and stuff as well.
Okay, that's fine.
While you're doing the cards. Alright.
Yeah, so Red Reboot.
There's like 1 in it, yeah.
Yeah, 1. You have to play it.
Yep.
Trap cards are really good. Freelancier.
Yep.
Quite a good card, sorry. And then Free Draw.
Which ones of these came up though in the tournament?
Okay, so this came up against decks like Tri Brigade.
Yeah.
It would come up against Flunderies, Flu Wonderies, whatever it is. It comes up against Eldritch sometimes, but there's better cards to side against that. There's other decks as well, which I can't think of off the top of my head.
Alright.
Droll comes up against Tri Brigade as well. The Lyrillus build specifically comes up against Drytron. You have to side it, sorry, because Drytron specifically.
Keep search.
If they resolve pre-prep, right, they usually win because it just gets to perfection. And then I play Free Twin for control decks, back row decks.
Yep.
I didn't side it in once because I just kept playing against combo.
I see.
If I played against controller board, and then obviously discarding a Goki when I break is really good as well, because then I can just go to Link 1 / Rematch again, as I mentioned.
Yep.
The 1 Pankatops, again I can search it off Ossa as well.
Yeah, you mentioned.
Yeah, it's broken in this deck.
Yep.
Side the 1 Scorpio, just because it comes up against control decks as well. I can search it off for Gokis also as well. So yeah, it can come up, but it didn't come up for this tournament, right? And then from there, free Dark Roller. I sided in this pretty much every game.
Every game.
Pretty much so, yeah.
Nice.
Just because it can basically wipe out literally a Sword Soul board where they owned the 2 synchros, the flower guy and the fire looking guy. However, like against a Sword Soul player, they had the blackout and I didn't have 2 Goki, so I couldn't extend past it, but it is what it is. But yeah, Dark Roll is quite crazy, especially because it can't respond to 2 bombers. So
And you said you played mostly turn 1 combo decks, yeah.
I didn't even win all my dice rolls either, so it's because of the technical going second cards I was able to win those.
Anything else you want to mention? Like you said, you want to talk about some matchup?
Yeah, so match 1 was against Drytron, 2-1'd it. Game 1, he opened full combo, including what's it called, the set spell. So game 3 he bricked. I was kind of lucky there, so I won that one 2-1. Match 2 was against Sword Soul. I won the dice roll, 2-1.
2-1, nice.
Match 3 was against Sword Soul as well. I 2-0'd.
Alright.
Miles Sage, very good player. Shout out to him, he's very good. And I have a huge respect for him. Obviously, he bricked slightly though, which was kind of unfortunate for him. Match 4 was against Numeron, and admittedly, I actually panicked a lot. So I was doing quite a few misplays, but I managed to get through 2-0 as well.
2-0, nice.
Obviously, what I did was chainlink 1, implant, target the goddess. You know, the goddess that can be targeted. It's unaffected by positive target. So basically, I misplayed by going chainlink 1, implant, chainlink 2, nib, and it should have been the other way around. Still won that game. Avamax is very, very good against Neymar.
Yeah, you mentioned.
And then match 5 was against Bavin. Obviously, the game loss with this. So unfortunate.
That was a game loss, wasn't it? Oh, okay.
That was my only loss.
Right.
And obviously, shout out to Bavin actually. He really helped me out. So obviously, he called me down as well. So. And then match 6 was against Tri Brigade Lyrilisk. Oh, that deck's scary. But you brick game 3 as well.
New support.
Yeah, that support.
New stuff in it, yeah.
If Bird Call resolves, they just get so much advantage. You have to ash that.
Right.
But yeah, literally that deck's really good.
Okay.
And then match 6 was against Met Knight Orcus.
Match 7?
Yeah, match 7. Sorry, yeah,
right.
sorry.
That's the last round, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And honestly, it's my first top, and hopefully first of many.
You won against Orcus, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Nice. That's like got second, isn't it? Yeah.
I 2-0'd that as well, to be fair. And then JY got above me.
Yeah.
So shout outs to Bavin, Chris, Jake, Dre, yourself, Jam. Yu-Gi-Oh! Replays on YouTube, go check them out. Saramanon on YouTube as well. Who else? There's more people I'm forgetting as well. Blazing Sun TCG, Todd's shop, go check it out. And obviously, go check
he hooks you up with some of the cards, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go check him out. Honestly, very good guy, and go check him out. Shout out to JY Sharif for obviously speaking to me and stuff like that. I think that's it. Oh, Simon as well. Will, Kamal. There's so many people. I'm sorry if I forgot you, but I love you. And thanks guys for watching this as well.
Yeah, there you go, there's Callum Allen with his second place Goki regional top deck profile. Thanks for that, mate.
Thanks.
Cheers.